Hi everybody, welcome to Free Lesson Fridays. I'm Theo from Triumph Music Academy, and in this Free Lesson Friday video we're going to talk about subtlety and texture on the drums. You know, that kind of stuff right there. You can hear that, and it's real quiet, and I just did it with my hand, not with a stick, but you can hear it. But first, go to triumphmusicacademy.com to sign up for your free first lesson. So, I want to give you an example about subtlety and texture on the drums. I'm in a band called Vox Fedora, and we write our songs collaboratively all together. And so, one of my bandmates brought a guitar idea to the table, and I'm going to play it on the piano for you. It goes a little something like this. I wanted to find the right drum beat for this groove, this bossa nova type groove, but I didn't want it to be specifically bossa nova. I wanted it to be a mix between kind of funk or rock and bossa nova. And I was just struggling and searching for this right kind of beat. Kind of a mix between bossa nova and funk. You got the but we have a long beat with the backbeat of the snare to mix those up. When we were writing this song and my other bandmate started to sing over it, we had the melody incorporated and we had a bass line being brought to the table. I knew that what I was doing was way too complicated with that beat. So I chose to go with something softer, the swizzle mallet from Vic Firth. You don't get as sharp of an attack. And instead of playing on 4 different parts of the drum set, the ride cymbal, the bass drum, snare drum, or rather the rim of the snare drum, and the hi-hat, I simplified it to just 2 to leave space for the ideas that the rest of my bandmates were bringing to the table. If we're really focused on the music, the best advice that I've heard, and this was something that Bernard Purdy said when he was asked, what advice would you give to any up-and-coming drummers? And his answer was, simplicity is key. Simpler is always better. So instead of using the hot rod and the rim, I opted instead to go with the Vic Firth swizzle, use the soft mallet, and get that beat. Finally, when I had come up with that drum beat using this swizzle mallet, it ended up being the glue that brought the rest of the song together and made it continue on to what it is, and you'll hear it on Vox Fedora's next album. But here, let me give you some other examples of ways you can change your texture on the drum kit. We've got so many options, right? The tip of the stick, the butt of the stick. Get yourself a swizzle mallet from Vic Firth, and you can easily switch to a wood tip stick if you need to. The hot rod is one of my favorite textures, especially for cymbal work. I've even used the butt of a hot rod sometimes when I don't want a stick to be too loud, but I don't want the hot rod to be too light. It's got a nice little attack on it. And I've even used my bare hands. One example is when Vox Fedora sometimes we'll play a gig and we'll cover Marvin Gaye's Inner City Blues. And in that case, you pull an old Hurlin Riley trick and flip one stick into your armpit. If it's your right stick, right hand, flip it into your left armpit. If it's your left, flip it into your right armpit. Hopefully you won't be holding a third stick. And then you can start, if you're familiar with that song, it starts with a bass drum and some congas. All you need to do is turn off your snare, and I'm gonna mute the snare with my left hand, and you can choose either your right or your left, whether you're right or left hand dominant. And I'm gonna slap the edge of the snare with a little bit of rim with my 3 middle fingers. And you can choose to mute a little bit more lightly to get a deeper sound. Or you can slap with a little bit less of your fingers to get the higher sound of a conga. Also, while doing that, muting more heavily on the snare to come up with a groove like this. So thanks for watching, drummers. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Remember, drummers, you are musicians too. And I encourage you to go explore your drum set and think about the different textures that you can get either with a mallet, with the butt of the stick, with your bare hand. And remember, when you're making music with other people, listen to the melody, listen to the harmony, listen to the other instruments involved, and make sure you're not just a beat keeper in the band. That is an important part of what we do, but it's not all that we do. So many reasons to overplay, but make sure you do what feels natural and don't overthink it. And thanks for watching this Free Lesson Fridays video. Be sure to subscribe, Triumph Music Academy on YouTube, and head over to triumphmusicacademy.com to sign up for your free first lesson in person. Thanks, guys. Free Lesson Fridays.